A block is released from rest and slides a distance of x down a straight slope. So release from rest means initial velocity is 0 and distance, so x is equal to x. The slope is at an angle theta. The slope is frictionless and air resistance is negligible. That means there is no opposing force. The acceleration of free fall is g, which expression gives the final speed of the block. So we have to basically calculate the final velocity of this block. Before we calculate the final velocity of this block, we need to know that what components are there and what components are missing. So I have initial velocity, I have final velocity and distance, so I can either use the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2as. But the problem is I don't have the acceleration. Remember, the common mistake is many students put the value of g over here. You cannot simply put the value of g because it is not a vertical free fall motion, it is along the slope. So to calculate the value of acceleration, what we can do, we can simply compare the forces acting on this block. So one force is going to be the weight, and weight will have its two component. One is going to be along the slope and one is going to be the normal one. We know that the component along the slope is always mg sine theta. So if I compare the forces acting on this object are force is equal to mg sine theta. In which direction? In the direction which is along the slope, or along the slope only this force is acting on it. If there was friction, then we might have included it, but there is no friction, so the only force acting on it is the sine component of the weight. And from the Newton's second law, we know that force is equal to ma. So I can write ma is equal to mg sine theta. M and m are same because the mass will remain same no matter what the case is. So I have the expression for acceleration, which is nothing but g sine theta. Now I have the acceleration, I can simply put it over here and I will have my answer. So let's do that. V square is equal to initial velocity is 0 plus 2 times acceleration is g sine of theta, and distance is nothing but just x. So I will have v is equal to square root of 2g sine theta x. So do we have such option? Yes, option B is the right one. Over here they just have switched the position of x, but B is your right answer.